The earthly homes of the gods, the hutnetcher, as the ancient Egyptians called them, should be designed and built in order to allow a perfect connection with their divine dwellings. The pharaoh and the priests were needed to establish the magical link, but they required the mechanism that channeled their sorcery. They found the necessary tools to carry out their rituals in architecture and astronomy. The Egyptian temple was a door to another dimension, and its design demanded precisely that. The height of its ceilings, the level of its floors, the shape and elements of the columns and its capitals, the games of light and shadow. Nothing was placed randomly. Everything had a purpose. Being a divine residence, it should be eternal. Therefore, its placement, direction, and building materials had to be carefully chosen to that end. At first, mud was used, but soon enough, more durable materials started to be used, and that entailed long journeys to get them. The builders didn't limit themselves to creating a home for the gods. The Egyptian temple was also a representation of the world and the cosmos. The explanation for the extraordinary dimensions of the temples of the Nile lies in the ideology of Egypt's mythological architecture. While Greek and Roman classicists built in accordance with the standards of human proportions, the Egyptians built according to godly measurements. As we already know, their primary purpose was to worship the gods in name of the pharaoh, to beg them mainly for two fundamental things: the perpetual regeneration of Ma'at, the universal order, and the timely flooding of the Nile that made the fertility of the fields possible. But its mission wasn't limited to the cult. Temples were centers of erudition and wisdom in which the knowledge of magic was formed and initiated, and the sacred writings were kept. The Egyptians' way of life depended greatly on the priests. The measurement of time, the calendars, the festivities, and the worshiping of the gods were decided and planned inside the temples. In all those acts, the gods were invoked through magic. It was the way to establish the connection between the celestial dimension and the earthly world. However, the temple wasn't the only access door to the underworld. There was another, more direct and definite one.